and welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Dave beside me, Ryan down below, and we are ready to break down some Tuesday baseball. I picked out 4 games for us to go over, and we'll have last pitch as always. But how we like to start the show now is taking a look at the record. The current record, 0-2 for me day yesterday, which really sucks. Dog of the day, I got some work to do. It's early, obviously, but I definitely have some work to do. Dog of the day. Ryan, 4-0 now in best bets. Great job. Me and Nick down there, 3-1, right behind you there. And Dave, leading over under, 0.91. A little bit ahead of me there. Obviously, it's early. Going on to college football and basketball. The only updated we pick here, Nick had a total yesterday, which he won, which moved him up to 3-0 in totals. And then obviously Nick's CFL dog that he won earlier in the year. But those are the current record for the show. Justin, thanks for smashing the like button. Much appreciated. And we'll start with the first game here. Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. 2 great games yesterday for the Jays. And now they'll have Mitch White on the mound. And it's going to be Bradish for the Orioles. Let me get up the odds here. So you can currently find Toronto minus 103 to minus 110. Baltimore minus 109 to minus 112. So incredibly close odds all across the board. 8.5s still, which kind of surprised me. But 8.5 still right across the board. Some stats for you. Toronto has won 8 road games in a row. 11 of their last 12 on the road. The last 12 meetings between these two teams in Baltimore have all gone over 8.5. The Jays are 8-4 in those games. Mitch White coming off 2 bad games where he's given up 8 hits, 6 earned runs, and 7 earned runs against the lowly Cubs and the lowly Angels. But his 2 games before that against Cleveland and the Yankees were good games. So I'm not quite sure if it's he was getting lucky in the first 2 games, and the last 2 games were more of the type of pitcher he was, or maybe he needs better competition to kind of get up for a game. I'm not quite sure, but the over. How can you not take the over right now? With these 2 teams, for some reason, they go over. So I do see here that I had it at Baltimore at Toronto, but it's actually Toronto at Baltimore. So I wanted to clarify that. But for me, over 8.5, which I got at minus 118. Toronto money line minus 106, and my favorite play of the day, Bo Bichette over 1.5 bases at plus 110. Bo Bichette hit 3 home runs in the second game yesterday. While I don't expect 3 home runs or even 1 home run today, I do think he can definitely get a double at some point and cash me, or a couple singles and cash me that plus 110. He's absolutely on fire right now. But I do think the Jays will keep on keeping on. From what I've heard, the locker room talk, they wanted to make a statement yesterday against this team, and I think they did that. Dave, what do you think here? Orioles and Jays.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a case on both sides. You know, when these teams at the plate, when you look at them specifically, like the Orioles away versus right-handed pitching versus the Orioles away, right? Yeah, you have me mixed up with that other thing. So the Jays, the Jays are away, right?
Yeah, I fixed it. Jays are on the road.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, they're hitting at the plate where they're at, whether on the road or at home versus right-handed pitching. I dialed into both teams. They're in the same ballpark. I think there's a lean towards the Jays, but it's negligible. Then I looked at their bullpens the last 2 weeks, and it's the same. A little bit of lean to the Jays, but it's negligible. The starting pitching, I'd say that if you're looking at trends, Kyle Bradish is trending up and Mitch White's trending down. I don't quite understand Mitch White because he's pitching well in the Dodgers and pitching well in Toronto. Last 2 games he got torched. His ERA in August is 7. Kyle Bradish, he pitches worse at home, and he hasn't pitched great against Toronto, to tell you the truth. He's actually, I think he's pitched 20 innings and given up 11 earned runs. But 2 of those 3 games, Toronto still won. So that's one thing. They're winning for him. And the other big thing, I think both these teams are 7-3 over their last 10. But up until yesterday, the Blue Jays were 1-6 versus the Orioles. Now they're 3-6. I just think this is an Orioles spot. I think this is an Orioles spot because of how they played the Jays. And also, I don't think that after yesterday, I think the Orioles need to show up. They've kind of dropped in the wild card standings, but it just feels like an Orioles spot to me. And the line moved that way too. I got it at plus 102 last night, and I think it's at minus 110. So the books are kind of thinking that way too.
All right. Ryan, what do you think here? Blue Jays and Orioles.
I'm on the Blue Jays. The way I see it, there's not much disparity in the pitchers. The thing is that the Orioles were on a real long under streak, which I think got broken at the doubleheader. So they were 9 straight games to the under, and their bats have been quiet. And on the other hand, it looks like the Blue Jays are coming alive. So I think there's a hitting disparity in this game, and that's why I'm on the Blue Jays. And to me, it just looks like a play. There also, I like to look at the bullpen usage charts, which are on RotoWire. And especially this time of year, like when there's a bunch of double headers going on, and the Orioles bullpen is going to be strained. So there could be some issues with them. A lot of teams have bullpen issues, but I think the Orioles are at a disadvantage in this spot.
All right. We'll move on along here to the next game. The Texas Rangers, the Battle of Texas. Facing the Houston Astros here. You can find Texas plus 210 to plus 225. The Astros minus 263 to minus 278. 7.5s right across the board. Houston run line, that's my bet. Why? Because we have a huge pitching mismatch in this one. And we have a huge team mismatch in this one. The Rangers, as I said a couple shows ago, it seems to me like they've kind of thrown in the towel. I think they kind of know, well, they obviously know that they're not making the playoffs, that this season has been kind of a waste. And I really don't like teams that kind of just throw in the towel like that. It doesn't show good sportsmanship, in my opinion. And obviously, if a team's kind of thrown in the towel, then it's smart to bet against them, in my mind. Framber Valdez has been consistent for this Astros team. He's won his last 3 starts, going 7 innings in 2 of them, 8 innings in the last game against Texas, where he did give up 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. 1 earned run the game before that, 2 earned runs the game before that. He's been consistent. So for me, it's Houston run line, which I got at minus 121. And I also took Framber Valdez over 6.5 strikeouts at minus 110. Close to kind of not being the number I wanted, but I'll take it at minus 110. You could look at over 7.5 as well for a nice plus price. But I'm sticking with the 6.5. This Astros team is just a team I want to back right now, and the Rangers are definitely not. And obviously, I talked about Valdez. All I really think I have to say is Glenn Otto, and that basically is enough of an explanation on why I'm taking Houston. But Otto's been kind of improving a little bit as of late. giving up 3 or 4 earned runs instead of like 6 or 7. So you can consider that an improvement. But I like the Astros here. Dave, Rangers, Astros, the Battle of Texas. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, well, it's not much of a battle because Houston's so much of a better team. But I'm off this game because of the prices. We all like to fade Otto. He actually has an ERA of under 3 in the month or last month in August. But I'm not going to forget who he is and what we've seen from him. I was thinking the under because it's Astros at home. But like I said, we are dealing with Otto. I don't expect the Rangers to score a lot, but it might be one of those like 3-1 games that happen in Houston. Problem is Houston at home is hitting right-handers a little too well for me to take that bet. So I'm off the game. I don't hate the K prop. I didn't look at how Texas is doing as far as strikeout rate, but Valdez is always, a good option for that. I'm just off the game. I think it's a meaningless game. I think you were right. The Rangers know they're done, and Houston kind of knows where they're going. So Battle of Texas, I don't know. I think it's just they're biding their time.
Yeah, hey, things will change for the Rangers one day, most likely, right? But yeah, I did cash the strikeout prop yesterday with the rookie Hunter Brown. I posted that on my Twitter there. I was really nervous that I wasn't going to get to bet it because most books didn't have it. It was only 2 hours before game time. One of the books that I have, and I have like 13 books, finally posted it, and I was able to bet it. But probably because he's a rookie or the books knew what was going to happen. But I'm glad to have cashed that. Ryan, Rangers, Astros, what do you think of this one?
So, yeah, I'm on the Astros for the same reason you are, Terry. One thing I will add is that I'm a big believer in the advanced numbers, and these are two diametrically opposed pitchers. Framber Valdez has this freakishly high ground ball rate. It's 67%. And like, there's really very few other pitchers that have that. And so that's just my philosophy is, it's like the cheat code. And this guy's got the cheat code. And I look for opportunities to back Framber Valdez. And on the other extreme is Glenn Otto, and he's got a walk rate that's near 5. And you just can't be a successful pitcher in the league when you have that type of walk rate. And I agree with what you said. Like, it looks like the Rangers are tanking. They've lost a bunch in a row, maybe 8 in a row now, or something. So this is my best bet of the day, the run line for the Astros.
All right. I like it. Moving on along. BetStamp. Use code WILD when signing up. Find the best odds for whatever you are looking for. Football season is coming. It'll be definitely nice to find the touchdown props and get the best price for those props because they will definitely vary from book to book. So make sure to use code WILD when signing up and follow me there at Let's Go Wild Picks. Moving on along to another game I really like here. We have the Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres here. You can find Arizona plus 139 to plus 150. San Diego minus 160 to minus 170. Sevens, I do see a couple 7.5s available in this one here. So on the mound, we have Musgrove for the Padres, a pitcher who got off to a phenomenal start. Had a kind of a rough patch there. Seems to have turned things around. Won his last game against San Francisco. 2 no decisions against Kansas City and Washington, though. The 2 previous games to that. This Padres team is just not like they're so confusing because when they traded for Bell and traded for Soto, I said this is going to be a bet on team. I'm excited to make a bunch of money off this team, and boy was I wrong. It's been quite the opposite. And then when we look at this Arizona team, the complete opposite of the Texas Rangers, and the fact that the Diamondbacks know they're not making the playoffs, but they're not playing like they know that. They're playing like they think they have a chance, and they're still in this. They've been playing great baseball, and Merrill Kelly has been pretty much good all year long. On his last 7 games, 2-0. So a bunch of no decisions there, but a 2.33 ERA. If you go back and look at his season long, he's 12-5 with a 2.84 ERA. So he's very consistent. You're going to give me Arizona first 5 plus a half at minus 110. I'll take that every day of the week in this situation. Another one of my favorite bets of the night there. Obviously, I want to talk anybody off taking the plus money with the money line. When I can get a really good price for a plus a half, I'll jump on it. So because I do think this will be a lower scoring game, especially early. So that's where I'm going with this one. Dave, what do you think here? Diamondbacks and Padres.
Yeah, I love this game. We're on the same side. I mean, when you look at these starting pitchers, I mean, Joe Musgrove, he was in the Cy Young consideration or on the tips of people's tongue or on the lips, however, whatever the saying is. People were talking about him as a Cy Young contender. He falls off second half. He did it last year. He did it this year. And we can go over the stats. But one of the things that we haven't talked about on the show that I look at is quality starts. And I consider that at least 6 innings with 3 or less runs. You look at Joe Musgrove, 6 of the last 10. That's happened. That's not horrible. But Merrill Kelly, 8 of the last 10 have been that. And then one, it should be 9 out of 10. One of the starts, I think, was 5.2 innings and 3 runs. So anyway, dude has been pitching really well. And then when you look at the Diamondbacks away versus right-handed pitching, they're above average. But when you look at San Diego Padres at home versus pitching, 170 average, and this is the past 2 weeks, 170 average, 443 OPS, 0.053 ISO. They're not hitting, and they're hitting, little duck farts apparently. And then 34 WRC plus, so they're not creating runs. They're hitting. I don't understand why this line there. It's Joe Musgrove and the Padres. That's why it's there. I got it at plus 150 last night. That's the first 5 money line. I'm not even taking the half a point. I think now it's 135 to 140 is where you can get it. There's a lot of value with a team that I'd be taking in the first 5, even if it was a lot less value. So Arizona, first 5 money line, that's my best bet.
All right. Ryan, Diamondbacks, Padres, are you on the same side as us?
I agree. I'm not on it. I'm on too much stuff already. One, props to Nick for taking the Diamondbacks yesterday. And 2, I don't think the Diamondbacks are out of it. I don't know what the degree of circumstances they would need to make the playoffs, but they're mathematically in it, and they're playing like a team that's in it still. And I think the Giants are still in it too. But I think as the days go on, it gets more and more far fetched. But I'm not on it. Diamondbacks are playing well. I would lean to them.
All right. And we'll move on along to the last game that I chose. Actually, a really interesting game here in the Atlanta Braves and the Oakland Athletics. You can currently find Atlanta minus 225 to minus 250. Oakland is plus 185 to plus 205. 8s, some 7.5s available. I'll go to my pick first while the odds are up here. I took Atlanta minus 1.5 for minus 125 at BetMGM. Everywhere else, it's minus 130 to minus 146. I don't like it at minus 130, but I do like it at minus 125. I know you might be thinking, oh, it's only 5 cents, but it's my price point. I have kind of a cutoff there. I don't really like the minus 130. Do like the minus 125. I do know a lot of respectable cappers that are on the Athletics here, especially first 5. Cole Irvin has been really good at home in the first 5 or at home in general. But this is the Braves. This is the second best team against lefties in baseball. And if you look at Kyle Wright, 17-5 on the year with a 2.85 ERA. If you look at his all his starts the last 2 months, if you're not named the New York Mets, he's played very well against you and allowed 2 or less earned runs. So for me, Irvin can pitch as well as he would like to, but I think Wright will match that, and I think the Braves are just the much superior team. They have their eye on the prize. The NL East is in their grasp, and this is the perfect team to face. And I'm not sold on the Athletics here. I like the Braves -1.5 in this one. Dave, Braves, Athletics, what do you think here?
Yeah, we all know that you're rooting for the Braves to do as well as they can through the stretch, just to kind of poke fun at the other two knuckleheads. But this game, to me, because of pricing, and I don't take favorite run lines at negative juice, it's either Oakland or nothing. And here's the deal: if you are in Oakland, you shouldn't feel, you should feel kind of confident in your pitcher. Cole Irvin's the only one. I think he's the only pitcher on the staff that plays better at home than away. In fact, the majority of A's players on the mound and at the plate do better other places. And can you blame them? If you've ever been to the Oakland Coliseum, it is a toilet. It's the worst stadium in professional sports, and they want to get out of there, and it's not a fun place to play. But anyways, but the Oakland, I think we've missed our chance too to kind of bet in Oakland. Right after the All-Star break, they were kind of surging a little bit and not being down, the dregs of the league, and there was some value there. And we got some with Blackburn and with Irvin, but I think it's past. They're not hitting well. The bullpen's not doing well. Irvin's the only, shining point there, and it is the Braves. So, and I'm not even confident, the Braves win. I'm not even confident in the Braves winning by 2 runs. So I stayed off of it. I do see some merit in trying to get behind Irvin. I just couldn't do it because of the price.
All right. The last thing I want to say about Irvin, too, if you look at his last 3 starts, he's given up 5 earned runs in 3 of the 4 starts. Mm-hmm. The 1 start he didn't was at home, but it was against Miami. Cole Irvin is a lefty, so any lefty should be able to do good against Miami. They don't hit lefties, so I kind of throw that game out. But he got smashed by Seattle, Washington, Houston. But it is at home. We'll see what happens. Ryan, Braves Athletics. Do you have any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm on the Braves run line here. There's a little bit of a disparity between Wright and Irvin, but not much. I think Irvin's a good pitcher. Wright hasn't given up an earned run in his last 2 starts. But then you start looking at other things like over the last 2 weeks, the Atlanta bullpen's number 3 in the league and the Oakland bullpen's number 22. Mm-hmm. Over the course of the season, for batting average, the A's are number 30 against right-handed pitching, and the Braves are number 3 against left-handed pitching, and that disparity is why I'm on the run line in this game.
All right. Sorry, my computer's freezing up. Next, follow the Cappers, the other Cappers. Their YouTube and Twitter links are in the description below. They will be. Dave and Ryan's, obviously. The Twins' YouTube channels there. Make sure to give everybody a follow and a subscribe. Moving on to last pitch here. Terry, what about the Twins' first 5 money line run line? I'll go over that game quickly here in last pitch right now. But first, we'll start with the Red Sox and the Rays. I did bet this, thinking that Rasmussen was in. The book that I placed it at does not care about pitching changes. You are stuck with whatever pitcher is there. So the pitching change, I'm still stuck with my Tampa Bay first 5 -1/2. Do I like it as much now? No. But last time this exact situation happened, it cashed. So we'll see if it cashes again, because it was actually Tampa Bay first 5 the last time this happened, and it still cashed. So I'm on it, but not by choice. But I still do like the play. It is Rich Hill and the Red Sox. As much as I'd like to see the Tampa Bay Rays lose, I think they do win this game and are leading after 5. Marlins, Phillies, Luzardo against Nola. Ultimately a pass for me. Was looking at Nola strikeouts. The Marlins have lost 7 in a row. So are they like Texas, where they've kind of thrown in the towel here? That remains to be seen. But the Phillies are losing. They just lost 3 in a row. So not exactly a team I want to jump to and back, especially on a Tuesday. So that makes, obviously Phillies are doing better on Tuesdays, but it ultimately is a pass. Twins and Yankees, Ryan against Cole. I'm sorry, Richie, I don't have a pick for you in this game. I don't really know what to make of it. The Yankees own the Twins. Obviously, I do cheer for Minnesota sports teams. So, and I am a Blue Jays fan, so I would love to see the Yankees lose. I would love to see the Twins upset. But I can't back them in this spot myself. Joe Ryan can be really good, but really bad, and I just don't know what he's going to bring to the table. So that's ultimately a pass. No opinions in Cubs and Reds and Cubs. That was a straight pass. Nationals, Cardinals. It's a pass as well. The Nationals are hot all of a sudden out of nowhere and are playing well. But I'm not backing Espino or the Nationals against the Cardinals, so it's ultimately a pass. Guardians, Royals, same thing, another pass. Maybe a lean towards Cleveland in some form, but they're not playing very well right now either, so not a team I'm running to go and back. Brewers and Rockies, another pass. Chad Kuhl, me and Bryant made a lot of money on him earlier on in the year. Not for a while, though. Brewers, another team I don't want to back. And Tigers, Angels, and White Sox, Mariners also passes for me. And the Giants, Dodgers, no known pitcher right now for the Giants. So no real opinion there. Dodgers kind of let me down yesterday, but it's the Dodgers, 92 and 42. They could very well bounce back here. Dave, what do you think? Last pitch. What do you like in the rest of baseball?
I don't. So there's plenty of games to pick. I think, and I've said it again, I don't like the prices. And if you aren't taking negative odd favorite run lines, like like the Braves, which isn't a bad bet, but for me that's a sin. I will not take -1.5 at negative odds. There just isn't a lot of places for me to be betting baseball, and for me that's perfectly fine because guess what? Football season's here, and football season's around the corner. So I'm picking my spots. That was a long way of saying I don't have anything else.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are higher volume, some people are lower volume, and everybody bets differently and has different rules. Mm-hmm. So totally respect. Ryan, what do you think here? Last pitch?
Yeah, there's a lot of plays on this card that I like. Last time there was a card like this, it didn't go well. So I'm hoping today my fortunes do a little better. I did take advantage of this pitching change in the Red Sox Rays. The Rays had a bullpen game on Sunday, and now they've got another bullpen game. And this just isn't normal. So I'm trying to take advantage of this. And I took a Red Sox team total over 3.5. They're also hitting – the Red Sox are number one in the league in batting average over the last 2 weeks. So they're hitting really well. So it seems like a really good bargain to me. I'm on this Twins-Yankees game. I think there's a disparity in Cole and Ryan. And I'm looking at the price doesn't appeal to me for the full game, but I'm taking the first 5 price and laying a half a run. I just felt that there was a disparity, and I want to back Garrett Cole on this. Let's see what else we got here. Oh yes, I'm on the Brewers today. They're they're really the only team that could upset the apple cart in the National League playoff race. And I'm not a huge fan of Brandon Woodruff, but Chad Kuhl has been really fadeable lately, and his numbers look really rough. He had an 8.71 July ERA. So I'm looking for a motivated Brewers team, and Chad Kuhl to struggle like he usually does. So I'm on the Brewers run line on this game, and that may be it. Oh, this White Sox Mariners game is really intriguing. I'm not on it yet, but I think that Cueto and Gilbert are roughly equal pitchers, and the first 5 on Chicago seems really appealing. So if you're getting a half a run on the White Sox in the first 5, that seems really appealing, and that's a strong lean for me. I haven't gotten to the window on that one yet. No, that's all my plays.
All right. And we'll move on along to the best bet segment. And we will start with over under, as we always do here. And I see that in the best bet segment that there's another sport that I forgot existed, which we'll get to here in a second with someone's best bet. But we'll get to that here shortly. When it comes to over under, for me, like I said, it is 12 games in a row. When Toronto has gone to Baltimore, it's gone over 8.5. I think we'll get to number 13 here. So minus 120 for that. Nick is going with Philadelphia and Miami. First 5 under 3.5. Tim is going with Pittsburgh team total under 2.5. And Ryan, you are going with Boston team total over 3.5. Dave, do you have a total today?
I don't. But what did you say about Toronto, Baltimore?
The last 12 meetings between Toronto in Baltimore have all gone over 8.5.
What's 9 at right now?
1 second here.
You almost sold me on a tail just by that.
Well, it's a number that I've been tracking. So
I know that the over was definitely the play in this game. I just didn't know it was that strong.
8.5. I don't see any 9s right now. But you'd have to look. Or actually, there's 1 9. It's plus 100. 2 9s there plus 100.
I'll take it at 9 at 100. I don't like the juice on that, and I'll take the tie if it doesn't pan out.
Right.
And I'm going to go bet that. So,
hey, it's been happening for a while, so I like it. And we'll go on to dog of the day. I totally forgot the WNBA was even still on, but Tim likes the Chicago Sky as his dog of the day. For me, it's Arizona Diamondbacks first 5, and Nick is Chicago White Sox first 5. We are going to be doing first 5s now in dog of the day, and first halves in football, which I'll get to here in a couple minutes. We'll talk about football quickly before the end of the show. Dave, any dog of the day today?
So that changes what it was going to be. You
can do first 5 because.
Well, what if my best bet is Arizona Diamondbacks first 5?
You want to double dip? How much do you like it?
I do. That's my favorite play. Let's do that. And I like it more than the full game because the full game Arizona's bullpen is dishwater. Double dip. I like that change. Approved.
Yeah, hey, it's still plus money. That's what I thought. You're still backing a dog at plus money. Yeah. You're just doing it at a different time. So, sounds good. Ryan, any dog of the day?
Well, given that the rule change, I will take the White Sox first 5, which is
plus 130 was the best I saw for it shortly or earlier.
Well, let me plus 125 in my book.
Okay. I think it's still plus 130 available at some, but I'll check after. So you'll get plus 130. And then we'll go on to best bets. And for me, my best bet is Bo Bichette to get over 1.5 bases today, plus 110. Nick is going with the Diamondbacks first 5 money line. Which he got at plus 140, but I think the best odds for it right now is plus 135, but I'll check that after the show. Tim is going with the WNBA Las Vegas Aces money line as his best bet, and Ryan, you're going with Houston Astros minus 1.5, and the best odds I saw for that were minus 120. Dave, you mentioned your best bet earlier. It's Diamondbacks, right? Diamondbacks first 5?
Yep.
All right. I will find the odds that you and Nick will get after the show for that.
I beat all you. I got it at 150 last night, but it's moved quite a bit.
Yeah, well, because people are smart. I think people are smart.
That's why I put my picks out at night. I mean, it doesn't always work out that way, but I'd say more than half the time I'm getting line value.
Back in the early part of the season, when the Yankees were doing well. You had to get on the Yankees like right when the line showed up because it would just get steamed. You had to get that right away if you were on the Yankees.
For sure. So about 20 minutes from now, we will be going over the New York Rangers offseason and talking about their future. No NHL show tomorrow because we will have our NFL show, our first NFL show for week 1, 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. We'll go through all 16 games of week 1 and have picks and props and a whole bunch of stuff. And then we'll have the best bet segment at the end for the NFL show as well. And then the MLB show as well tomorrow afternoon. So still lots of content coming up. But if you like the content today, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching on Twitter, come join us on YouTube. We'd love to have you in the live chat sometime. But best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. And have a good one, guys.